Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video. Yay! I know it's been a while since I've posted, and today we're doing a little bit different of a style. I don't know what it is. Honestly, after so long of just like talking to the camera and having to be out there and stuff, like, I'm not gonna lie, it gets kind of tiring. But I still want to, share my adventures, and I'm kind of like in a minimal effort position at the moment just because I'm working and like traveling, so whatever, but I'm still happy to be here. So, I'm still recording my adventures, but today I'm just gonna give you a big voiceover underneath all of them. So let's get into it, you guys. I have been in Japan for, I don't know, maybe like 3-4-ish weeks now, and I'm having such a blast. So let's just I guess talk about some of the things that I have been up to here in Japan. So my adventures started out in Sakai City, which is actually about an hour south of Osaka. It was really cool to get a local perspective and hang out there. And in these clips here, I'm showing you the Sumiyoshi Taisha, which is a temple that's almost 2,000 years old. It was about a half hour away from where I was staying. I was very excited because they were supposed to have a Matsuri festival, and I went 2 days in a row and literally nothing happened. Apparently on the second day I missed it. So on the third day, I just decided I wasn't gonna spend a whole hour going back and forth again because I was afraid to miss it. But anyways, I still really loved it. And then I moved up to Osaka, and oh my god, the energy in Osaka was just amazing. I got to make friends. I saw this really cool floating mochi. I went to the Rilakuma store, which I don't know if you guys know, I love Rilakuma. And it was just such a vibe. There's like so many people, so much energy, so many lights. Like I had the most fun in Osaka, and I will tell you, I just went on a full weekend bender partying. It was very, very needed, super fun. Like, I need to go back to Osaka someday. And of course, I did a few touristy things, including going to the Osaka Castle, and I also went to the Museum of Housing and Living, which kind of shows what it would have been like to live in the Edo period. And honestly, it was so worth it. It was so cool. 100% recommend visiting that museum, and also visiting the ramen factory. It's about a 40-minute train ride, but like you get to make your own ramen, and like if you like ramen, it's a really cool experience to have. Oh, and would you look at that? We are all of a sudden in Nara. Yeah, so anyways, transitions here are gonna be random and whatever. I'm just going with it and enjoying making the video. So I went to Nara next, and this is actually the second time I've been to Nara. I went to Japan 9 years ago, so I did get to meet the Nara deer before, but it was cool because I was gonna spend more time here. And aren't they just the freaking cutest? I think it's so cool how like they just live among people, like, and it's just a peaceful thing, like in the US, like we just hunt our deer. So it's just cool to see this type of wildlife just living and just, being fine. And if anything, we're just feeding them. So that's why they just hang out so chill around us. So anyways, I went to the Kasuga Taisha, which actually I don't really know a ton about it. I know that it's a very like sacred place. It's very beautiful to walk around in, but I actually really wanted to go on like a hike in that area. So eventually I kind of wandered around and I found a hiking trail. It was kind of like this big wide path. So it wasn't like a super nature hike, but the views were still so beautiful, and like the trees were just amazing. Oh my god, I had a blast there on this hike. But it's crazy because it ended up taking so long. It took me so long to do the whole loop. I at the end of the day realized I had walked 10 miles. So yeah, anyways, basically along the hike I went to go check out this waterfall, and the waterfall was such a good reward, especially, it's so nice to like put your feet in some cold water when you've just been walking around in the hot weather all day. And then after the waterfall, I made it to, oh gosh, what is this hill's name called? I'm gonna get it. Give me a second. Okay, so it's called the Wakakusayama Hill. And that was like oh my god, it was so exciting when I reached that hill, because I was like, oh my god, I can finally get down back to society. And the view from the hill was spectacular. And I basically at that point had just like re-entered into the touristy areas. So, I had a lot of fun on my hike, but I was actually low-key excited to just be around people once again. The next day, after this super long, hot day, I treated it as a museum day. So here you see me at the toy museum. And dude, I had so much fun at the toy museum. Like, yeah, there were so many other toys to play with, but like, I really had fun with these wrestlers. Like, I felt like I was literally acting like a little kid, and I had a blast. And it's a free museum, so I recommend that you go check it out. Go with somebody or go by yourself, because even the people that work there are super fun and like were very entertaining and nice to me. So yeah, then I went to the Nara Museum to see their Buddha display, and yo, it was epic. It was maybe a little like 1,200 yen to get in, but definitely worth going. And at the end of the day, I treated myself to a ice cream. It was a matcha sea salt ice cream. Now, I see a lot of matcha like ice creams around, but like honestly, like it just doesn't appeal to me just to have that. So this was interesting to me, and I have to say it was the best ice cream of my entire life ever. It is time to call it. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm literally so dead. It is so hot. The shade is the best thing in the world here. I mean, after walking 10 miles yesterday, and then like, yeah, the museum stuff was cool today, but like, I don't know what else to do, and I don't really want to spend more money on museums. And like, yeah, they're cool, but they're not like, I mean, they're not the best thing ever. You know, it's kind of fun. The Buddhas were really cool to see. And that ice cream, oh my god, that ice cream was, I'm gonna go back tomorrow. That was fucking incredible. That was so good. That was so good. I'm so happy I had that ice cream. And we're gonna get dinner, and then I'm going back to my Airbnb because I am done being out in this heat. Over it. All right, you guys, it seems that we are getting into Kyoto all of a sudden. So welcome to my time in Kyoto. And Kyoto, I enjoyed it. It was kind of chill. I spent a lot of time actually working, just kind of shopping and enjoying the main sites. So what we're looking at now is actually the Shosein Garden, and it was totally worth visiting. It was very chill, very tranquil, not a lot of people, and I really enjoyed it as like an escape. And of course I did all the touristy things, so I went to the photo spot. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. And you know what? It was actually much more impressive when I went there and saw it in person. I was kind of like, okay, cool. It's a photo spot, big deal. But it was actually really beautiful. Even though there was lots of people, like, wow, really gorgeous. I took a lot of photos of it, actually. And of course, I went to the Fushimi Inari Taisha, and that was just really cool. Like, it's funny because I feel like Kyoto has all these like super touristy things, but actually they're so worth visiting and they're just so impressive. So 100% would recommend doing the super touristy stuff in Kyoto. Like, it's worth it. But one thing I did in Kyoto that isn't so top touristy is I went to the train museum, and honestly, if you really like trains, like, it's worth going to. I had a fun time there, and I got to learn a lot about the history of the railroad in Japan. Also, they had like a steam engine type performance at the train museum, and it was so cool to watch. Like, if you're a train geek, like, go to the train museum. It was so cool. And you guys, well, that basically does it. So Japan has treated me so well so far. I still have to go to Tokyo, but I gotta say, I have really been loving it. And in comparison to Korea, a lot of people were worried, like, oh, you might not be as happy in Japan, because in Japan they're a little bit more shy. But the thing is I feel like in Korea I noticed a lot more, like, people were more willing to show negativity, and perhaps that is like what I was not doing so well with, versus in Japan, like, I know people are kind of just like polite because that's how they're supposed to be, or they're supposed to smile because they're supposed to. But I promise, even if you're supposed to smile at me because you're doing customer service or what, I will smile back, and I will, you know, try to give you that positive energy. And so that's one thing that I really do think, even though, yeah, people here are not as social, like, I feel more of a positive energy coming off of them, which is very important to me. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a different style. I know there's just like random images floating here now, but let's see how this goes. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in a next video in Tokyo. Peace.